Welcome to my inspiration video. I wanted to talk about what inspires me and makes me want to paint. And really it comes down to what makes me feel alive. What do I love to do? Where do I love to be? Where are my favorite places in the world to hang out? When I was a kid, I used to live in Pennsylvania, and I remember looking out of the second-story window of the elementary school and seeing those green Pennsylvania hills and always looking at the horizon and wondering, what is out there? What could be out there that I could discover? And I think that curiosity has always stayed with me. I love exploring trails. I love going into the backcountry and seeing things that most people never see. I was an ultra runner, which meant I ran long distances, longer than marathons. And I used to go out on trails and just get lost out there. I mean, not lost on the trail, but I would get lost, and I loved it. One of my favorite places in the world is Crested Butte in Colorado. The aspen forests, the wildflowers. There's so much color in the landscape that you can really get completely absorbed and lose yourself in the details of the landscape and the colors, and then looking out at the mountains. The other thing I find irresistible about Crested Butte and Colorado in general are the wildflowers. It doesn't matter if you're out in the forest or walking down a city street, you're going to see wildflowers in the summer anywhere in Colorado. Every color you could imagine, in any arrangement, you'll find it. I love the color. It inspires me to include so many different textures and designs and arrangements in my work. I never get bored. Living in Fort Collins, we have so many different birds. We have so many migratory birds, and then birds who live here all year round. We have bald eagles and golden eagles. We get pelicans and osprey and herons. And then we get the Canadian geese. Those are our city's mascot, and you can't go anywhere without seeing them. I love watching birds, and I can't help but be inspired by them. We have a diverse ecosystem here in Fort Collins. It's high desert, and it's where the prairie meets the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. So we get all 4 seasons, and we also get beautiful colors in the fall. Between having all these seasons and the winterscapes with the big skies and the snow and ice, you can't help but be inspired all year. Some of my favorite places outside of Colorado are the Oregon and California coasts. I love sand dunes and looking at the cliffs above the beach, watching the seagulls and all the rock formations, especially off of the Oregon coast. There's so much interesting life to watch. You see sea urchins and starfish, I love picking up agates and driftwood on the beach and making sculptures out of them. All of these different places feed my inspiration for color and texture and just that feeling of being out there, the breeze and the air and the big sky. I love the night sky and the morning sky. If I'm outdoors, I'm happy. Traveling long distances into the backcountry allows me to see things that most people never see. I also love to climb up to the top of things and look out at the horizon. Some of the things I see along the way on my long hikes and runs are old buildings, waterfalls, more flowers, amazing landscapes that have been carved over the years by wind and water. I always find ways to get out and find a place where I can climb up to the top and look over at the horizon. I find inspiration everywhere in Colorado, whether it's the fall colors or a solar eclipse in my backyard. Looking at those moon-shaped shadows that the solar eclipse casts everywhere. I love Colorado and all it has to offer, but the place I've fallen in love with the most is the country of Mexico. The color, the culture, the history, there's just nothing like it. Whenever I go to Mexico, I always include some outdoor adventuring. In 2023, I was in Mexico City and I climbed Nevado de Toluca, which is a volcano that's about 15,000 plus feet, not too far outside of Mexico City. Looking out over the landscape there and seeing the volcanic lakes and the volcanic craters and the intense rugged landscape was a perfect complement to the museums and the art, the Aztec and pre-Columbian history that I witnessed when I was visiting the city, and it inspired me to make some art when I got home. There's no limit to what can inspire me, and there shouldn't be any limit to what can inspire you. I'm not wealthy enough to travel the world, but I go where I can, and I take inspiration from those places. You never know what you're going to see if you really look around at your surroundings. So let it inspire you.